the main thing we're talking about is Jeff Fest, which is happening on June 14th. Tell me about that.
Warner's been organizing that, so
Jeff had the stroke in 2023, September of 2023.
For folks that don't know who Jeff is,
Jeff Johnson, original bass player in Jason and the Scorchers, co-writer of many of our songs. Jeff had the stroke, and we managed to do a Jeff Fest for him in January of 24. Jason and I put together a version of Jason and the Scorchers and performed a Jeff-driven set. It was, everything that was chosen was kind of stuff that Jeff had really been heavily involved in with the Scorchers. We raised a lot of money. It was a good time. Cut to 18 months later, the medical bills are still coming in, the facility's still coming in, money's running out. So I talked to a few people, and I was just like, hell, we need to do another benefit show to try to raise some money for Jeff. The Jason and the Scorchers thing, we've already played that card, so I had to try to play a different card this time. Therefore, that's where we are now with all the different bands and all that stuff, and I'm really looking forward to the show. Been a little harder sell this time around. It's 18 months later. Everybody's tired of hearing about it.
Yeah.
You know?
The second time you go to the well, people are a little bit, they're buffered.
Yeah.
And it's like, Jeff ain't buffered.
Well,
Jeff needs the dough.
And a lot of the people that have been donating to Jeff are the same people that have been donating to Jeff. They've been there for the ride for 18 months. Tried to put together a really good musical show with a bunch of different people than the last time. There's a few of the usual suspects that just wanted to help, people that want to help. But that's where we are with it. June 14th is going to be a big night. Dan Baird and Homemade Sin, with...
a very rare chance to see Dan these days.
Yes.
Absolutely. Dan took his baseball bat and his glove and went home with it. So,
well, I'm bringing it back out for the old-timers game.
Absolutely. In Dan's defense, this is the third or fourth benefit that Dan's done since he quit playing.
Yeah.
So, that I know about,
But you were open about that at the time, where you're like, I'll play other gigs, but I'm just done being on the road and all that.
Yeah. I'm just like, it's, one-offs are completely different than trying to string together dates, because stringing together dates means you have to get from here to there again.
Yeah.
And it's not the playing that I ever minded. It's those 2 hours of the day were gold. The other 22, I'm not at home with my sweetie. Just like I can go on and on.
Airport,
and it's like I know most of the roads in Europe. It's like, because I was navigator for Homemade Sin.
Pre-GPS.
Yeah, pre-GPS. I had 3 maps, and it's just kind of like, I think we finally broke down and bought a magnifying glass. Well, the Strasses are named stuff that doesn't come off my tongue. So,
okay, a lot of you guys ask me, so you think about coming to Nashville, where can I go where I'm going to see a lot of people that I might meet people from the scene or whatever? If you go to this gig, one, it's going to be great music.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a collection of people that are probably embedded in the musical scene for a long time.
Have been for a long time.
Yeah,
Yes.
Very nice, approachable people. This is a great chance to come and just meet a few folks that you dig.
Just don't freak out. Just talk to us like people. We are people.
The one thing I got to say about Jeff Fest, both shows, the one in January of 24 and this one, everybody wanted to play. I had no problem getting people to play. It was a problem telling people, no, we've got too many people to play, which is a wonderful problem to have.
Too much money.
Yeah, too much money. Right? But it everybody I asked went yes. Everybody said, tell us what you want, how, why, which is wonderful. It says something about you live here, the Nashville scene. All the musicians always throw in to help each other out,
Yes.
We're working on getting this thing simulcast. Yeah, live streaming kind of thing.
Thank you, Dan.
But and it will have a little donate button up there if I can talk Joe into making the webs. But it's like we've got somebody, I think, to do the sound. I mean, do the video and stuff.
Okay.
So it's like, because a lot of people,
Been a lot of European Homemade Sin fans that would love to see the show, can't come. How can we do this? Can you live stream it? And
and it's just like, well, yeah, and it's just like, donate $5. Donate $5. I know you're not here, and you're not getting that full experience, but you can see the bands playing and stuff. And if we get enough people and word goes around, for a whole day of music.
yeah, it's an all-day event. I mean, music starts, I think, at 4.
Yeah, Valentine's Saloon's
Yeah,
going to be on.
we've got
What's the lineup?
the Hip Replacements, LAMF, the Rusty Nails, Valentine's Saloon, Roll Core to China,
Me
Dan Baird and Homemade Sin,
and you.
me with a whole bunch of different friends. And I'm going to do 3 or 4 of my songs, and then my set's just going to mutate into a Jason and the Scorchers fest, with different guest singers and different people that, hey, can I play this one with you? Can I do that? Yeah, absolutely. Come do it.
Yeah. No, you better know.
Yeah, you do need to know the song. That would help.
That's you'd be surprised.
There's
Maybe
a
you
lot
wouldn't.
a lot of the people doing the thing. There's a lot of folks that the Scorchers were a big deal to them. Jeff was a big deal to them, and
Seriously, there is a very, very long list of people that have straight up told me that the Scorchers kind of responsible for steering them into this world
Yeah.
of
These
country
guys,
rock, whatever it is.
these guys were pioneers.
Yes.
I saw them, and I went. They're selling records out of their trunk.
we're back to doing that again.
Yeah, no, it's like they were the first ones, y'all, for a long time that weren't old black bluesmen.
Brian Henneman will tell you that.
Yeah.
Chuck Mead will tell you that. There's
Yes.
so many people that will go on about that, and they're right.
It was like, I remember just being gobsmacked, going like, they didn't care. No, they couldn't get a deal. What they're doing's too real, and it's coming. I wrote the liner note on Halcyon Times. Everybody in this wing of music, from red clay rockers to solo singer-songwriters, owe them money.
Pay up, folks.
Do it by donating.
Help out a brother. Help out Jeff Johnson. He needs the help.
Yes, and he was part of the founding fathers, man, because those guys, they came out, and then about 6 to 8 months later, all of a sudden, all these people started going, they did it, we're just going to do it like they did it. And it's just, give it a try. It's like you couldn't get a record label interested unless you had, management out the wazoo and, connection here, connection there. You already got your famous producer dying to produce you, don't you? It's like, oh, no. Oh, no, I don't. We can't get you a record deal. Well, just go out and make one up yourself.
We joke about it, but the Reckless Country Soul, the original 45 that we did that so we could get a gig at 688 in Atlanta. You had to have a record or you couldn't play there. So we made our own record so we could play 688 in Atlanta. And we got paid $100 opening up for REM there, and that was big doings.
Yeah. Yeah, paid for the gas.
Yes, indeed. So
Hell yeah.
Half a bar tab.
well, I don't think there was any bar tab involved.
The first time I saw you guys, because I was aware and had the records, but there's no internet. So where the hell would some kid from Indianapolis,
Mail order,
see you
dude.
guys?
So a
Well,
lot of
I wasn't-
records mail order.
I wasn't hip to it. I
Yeah.
was buying the records at Karma Records in Greenwood, Indiana.
Yeah.
My buddy Gary was like, you need to know about this.
Wow.
And I buy it. Next time I come in, here's the Dead Boys. You ought to buy one of these. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, that's cool. Just turning you on to things like that. You guys came to the Arlington Theater in Indianapolis. I think you told me that it was the only time you've ever played in Indianapolis.
I think so.
I think you said that. And it was a small Small Crowd was originally billed with the Satellites.
Yeah.
And,
we got yanked for the Seeger tour.
okay.
Yeah.
And it ended up there was a local band, the Rods and Cones, opened up, and but there's a videotape on YouTube. Jason and the Scorchers at the Arlington Theater in Indianapolis, and you can see a bunch of heads down front, and one of those is me. Cool. Thank God I don't know which one. But, what year would that be? 85?
No, 86.
Probably 86.
86, or if it was in the new year, because we left them.
No, it would have been 87 because it was we were out pushing our third record. You guys were pushing your first record.
Right, but we started that up in September.
Yeah.
And then we did October and the beginning of November, and then, it's like Bob Seger came calling, and it was just like, we love you guys, but
It was time to move.
yeah, it's like, we're still going to be playing the same 40 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's like, you guys, these were the Scorchers were the biggest crowds we'd ever opening for them was the biggest crowds we'd ever played to. Until we got to, I had to rename it Club Kemper Arena, because I was terrified of playing an arena, but I was cool playing clubs. So I walked out first night and went, "Welcome to Club Kemper," and it's just like Richards laughed, Morrow laughed,
Everything was a little easier at that.
Yeah. It's just like, we're going to play it like a club show. We don't know no better. It's all we know how to do.
So, and to add, when we were talking about Jeff Fest with Homemade Sin,
Yeah.
Mara Magellan's coming down from Wisconsin. Sean Savacool's going to play bass with. It's the last version of Dan Baird and Homemade Sin.
Yeah.
So it's really wonderful that Morrow's driving 600 miles down here to play for free.
That's great.
And it makes me where I still don't know what we're going to play. I have no earthly idea of the set list because there won't be one.
So Jeff Fest, June 14th in Nashville at Eastside Bowl. I'll put a link down below. Buy your tickets there. If you can't come, I will find some link somewhere that I will put like in a comment and pin it to the top where you can just send money.
I can send you. I'll make sure you have the 2 different donation sites for Jeff that have been set up.
Once you guys do me right and make me look good in front of my friends.
Yeah.
Let's blow up that link and do right by Jeff, one of the pioneers of all of this stuff that we talk about on this channel. And so you'll see me there. I'll be there, looking forward to it. So
Cool, Otis. You want to sing?
I'd be happy to sing. I don't about them. We might sell less tickets out there.
We can put you to work, man.
We'll surprise them with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.